powerful. He's so vicious. Like his one punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground, and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see until we get in there and touch the waters.
The boxing world is stunned as Gervonta tank. Davis appears in the best shape of his career, ahead of his upcoming clash with Jake Paul. Training footage shows him hammering the heavy bag with explosive power and surgical precision. Every movement is sharp, every combination deliberate. His focus and relentless energy prove just how seriously he's preparing, leaving boxing experts impressed by his conditioning, confidence, and championship.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me, because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings, and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early round. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
Analysts agree that Davis's best path to victory lies not in brute force, but in intelligence. They emphasize that Tank must rely on his superior movement, ring control, and timing rather than chasing an early knockout. His brilliance has always come from patience and the ability to read his opponent's rhythm. Experts believe that if he stays disciplined, sticking, moving, and countering, Jake Paul won't be able to handle his precision or speed. While Davis is known for his explosive punching power, it's his defensive instincts and counter-punching ability that make him truly dangerous. When he fights smart, few opponents at Jake's level Many experts predict that Jake Paul is about to face a harsh reality once he steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis. They say Tank's speed, experience, and fight IQ are far beyond anything Jake has ever encountered. Paul's past opponents, while physically imposing, lacked Tank's explosive timing and ability to capitalize on openings. Analysts expect the power difference, once Davis lands clean, to be overwhelming. They describe Jake's defense as raw and untested, while Davis's ring mastery allows him to calculate every move. The consensus: once Tank connects, Jake may not have the stamina or awareness to recover, leading to a sudden, decisive knockout.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it
it
bothers
is
the fuck out
hard.
of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia. So it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friend. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird
They're just trying to draw you in.
thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
The size difference between the two fighters has become one of the biggest talking points in the lead-up to this matchup. Critics argue that the gap is too great to ignore, while others insist that Davis's refined technique will overcome any physical disadvantage. Fans are divided. Some even question whether the fight should happen at all given Paul's much larger frame. Supporters of Davis counter that boxing is a sport of timing, control, and precision, not sheer size. They remind skeptics that Tank's discipline and tactical intelligence allow him to dismantle bigger opponents, making Jake's weight advantage far less meaningful.
We were yelling so much about him fighting someone, fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135 pounds.
Due to the mismatch, the rules governing this exhibition fight are non-standard. For example, both fighters will use 12-ounce gloves, which are heavier than what Davis normally uses when fighting in his class.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
Former UFC champion Michael Bisping offers a nuanced perspective. While he acknowledges Tank's incredible power, agility, and skill, he also warns that weight differences can't be completely ignored. Bisping respects Davis's ability to adapt against larger opponents, but admits that the size gap could test Tank's endurance and punch resistance. Still, he believes that if anyone can overcome that challenge, it's Gervonta Davis. The size factor is real, Bisping said, but Davis's technique and discipline could very well neutralize it, if he executes perfectly.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You get what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
Several analysts have criticized the ongoing disrespect toward Davis's resume. They point out that many fighters who've shared the ring with him gained significant recognition afterward. Opponents like Lamont, who were relatively unknown before facing Tank, became stars following those bouts. To these analysts, that's proof of Davis's influence and star power. They reject the notion that he's not one of the sport's faces, arguing that his fights elevate everyone involved. For them, dismissing Davis's legacy ignores how much he's done to boost boxing's visibility and competitiveness.
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract, but I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but a little different. The size difference was, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping. And it made me think, and I'm going to ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm going to ask him, because I know he's an expert in this area. but it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, AKA Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me it's Rocky 3.
Coach Reg offers a grounded perspective on the criticism surrounding Davis. He reminds fans that Gervonta has already achieved more than most fighters his age. In his view, there's nothing wrong with taking high-paying fights once you've proven your worth. Reg believes Tank has every right to secure his financial future after years of risk and dedication. He argues that critics often overlook Tank's contributions and discipline, focusing too much on spectacle. Whether Davis chooses to retire soon or continue fighting, Reg insists he's already cemented his place among the best lightweights of his generation.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Analysts also highlight how much of the fight's attention stems from Davis's cultural impact. As one of America's most prominent black athletes, Tank draws immense fan and media attention. His fights transcend sports, becoming cultural events that resonate far beyond the ring. Experts note that Davis's fame brings both admiration and scrutiny, as every move he makes becomes headline news. Yet, they emphasize that his popularity isn't just about image. It's built on undeniable talent and years of dominance.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then he starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power. So much confidence in his power.
You know, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Tank, you know, these fighters. You gotta be aware 15 rounds. I know you're going 12, but you gotta think you're going 3 more, because one slip, one mistake, and it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so hats off to Tank. You know, he's a great, talented fighter. But again, he haven't faced the top elite fighters in his division.
Right.
You know, so we want to see Tank against, you know, somebody his size, you know, at the elite level.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll do good because, you know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude, you know?
Yeah. Coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
Yeah.